Usually when I stand on the runway about to take my jump, I usually visualize the jump in my head, and sometimes not only in my head, I go through the motions with my hands as well, and kind of just visualize and take myself through the jump, standing there, go through the motions, and tell my body what I wanted to do. In the women's triple jump, our event was only added to the Olympic program in 1996 in Atlanta. There were years before that when it was just an exhibition event, and still I think to this day some people still think it's too tough on a woman's body. So it's exciting now to see that the event gets a lot of support from the fans, and the athletes are loving it, and it really is one of the toughest events in track and field. I always thought it was important to finish my degree and then go ahead to aim towards a master's degree and start working on my business career. As my dad once said, when you're a full-time athlete, you're only one injury away from being unemployed. So it was important for me to start a business career as well, so that I'd have something to fall back on when my athletic career ended. I went to James Madison University for my undergrad, and I studied hotel restaurant management, and went to Howard University to get my MBA. That was definitely tough because I was working full-time at the hotel and training, so my days were really long, but it was such a great pleasure to end with my master's degree and make my family happy, and doing it all while I was juggling an athletic career as well. In 2003, I decided to take a leave from my job in the hotel industry and start training full-time to hopefully make the team in Athens in 2004, and I did, so it all paid off. Well, I think I get from my father my passion for doing some philanthropy work. I grew up watching him volunteer his time at the Boys and Girls Club in Seattle, where I was born, so I've always made it an effort to at least 3 or 4 times out of the year volunteer my time at different nonprofit organizations or charities. And I think just being there in person, seeing the smile that it puts on people's faces when knowing that you came out to offer your time, it's really rewarding for me. I've been volunteering with the local organization for the blind for 2 years, and I work with the local man, and every 2 weeks I visit him, I read his mail for him, I pay his bills, I help him with his grocery shopping, any other things that he needs that he can't do on his own. And we've really developed a great bond together. We've become good friends. And I guess working with an organization for the blind was a passion because it was something that I could really relate to personally. I was born with a degenerative retina condition which makes me severely nearsighted, so I've always worn really high prescription contact lenses and glasses since birth, and I've had some surgeries to repair my retinas in the past. When you're severely nearsighted, you're always straining your eyes, and eventually your retinas can tear. I've had tears in both eyes before and had surgery to repair them, and unfortunately earlier this year the condition worsened, and the retina in my right eye detached, and I temporarily lost all sight in my right eye. I had emergency surgery, which was a success in the fact that it brought back part of my vision in that eye. I'll still be legally blind in that eye, but I'm here and I'm just making the most of it, so it's not going to stop me. Well, in my event in the triple jump, it's very important to have accuracy leading yourself into the takeoff board. The takeoff board is only 8 inches wide, and you're running from about 35 meters away. So to land your foot on that same spot every time really requires good vision, direction, and accuracy, and depth perception, which I don't have the best depth perception. And so now that I'm working with maybe one eye doing all the work, it's going to make it more difficult, but I just have to really tighten up the other areas of my running mechanics so that everything will still work well. I think one of my strong points is my focus. I am a little bit stubborn, so I think that helps because to be an athlete you have to be a little bit selfish because you have to spend so much time on perfecting what you do. Not that I'm arrogant, but I definitely put a lot of hard work into what I do. I think that it takes a lot of special skills to be able to succeed at a high level as an athlete. The most memorable achievement for me was the day I broke the American record. At that time, I had already won 5 U.S. championships, and I had won a bronze medal at the Indoor World Championships, but I hadn't made my first Olympic team yet. I came close in 2000, but close isn't good enough, in 2004, I was facing the same scenario as I did in 2000, going into the Olympic trials with not yet achieving the qualifying standard that's set by the International Committee. So it was very stressful, but I knew I was in great shape, and I knew that I just had to piece everything together. And that day, the weather conditions were great, I was in great shape, and lo and behold, I broke the American record. And it was a really great experience. I cried like a baby, and I made my first Olympic team. I think it's so important to let our young and up-and-coming athletes know that you can have great performances while being a clean athlete. And it's also important for our fans to know that there are those of us that are out there working hard, giving our blood, sweat, and tears. And I think it's important for people to know that you can really do great things if you work hard and don't take the easy way out. And you know, there are some days when I wonder, oh, why did I choose this event? Because it's so tough and it's so fatiguing and tiring. And sometimes I leave the track and my legs are wobbling, but I really fell in love with the event. And because I'm not satisfied yet and I want to achieve even more than I already have, that's what keeps me going back to the track and working hard every single day. My faith has really helped me through the tough times. Like I said, going through 2 back-to-back injuries that left me sitting on the sidelines for a couple years, and then having surgery that took me out again. A lot of times, you know, you have to realize that there's a higher power and there's a reason why I'm being challenged, and I can only believe that the Lord is challenging me because He knows that I'm tough enough to handle it. And there were some times where I questioned and wondered, you know, why am I receiving all the challenges? Well, can't you spread this out a little bit? But I realized that I have to go through these times. And when you go through the hard times, that just tests your faith. And I know that I'm a believer. And again, I just have to keep praying and knowing that the Lord will bring me through. I'm a career woman, a philanthropist, a clean athlete, and I'm a survivor. All of these things make me who I am. I am Tiombe Hurd, and I'm aiming for London 2012.